Hey everyone, this is Mitch. Before we jump into today's episode, I just wanted to take a minute to say that my microphone stopped working partway through, and so I had to switch to my headset mic. So if anything sounds off in my audio partway through, that is the reason why. And without further ado, here is today's episode of Rough Notes. Hey everyone, what's up? This is Mitch with Rough Notes. I'm here with Marcus. Say hi, Marcus.
Hey guys, it's me, Marcus. Okay, yeah, you go.
And Eduardo. Say hey.
What's up? What's up? We back. Episode 3.
So this week we're here to talk about some artist icebergs. So what that means is we're gonna go through for an individual artist that each of us picked, and we're going to talk about what song we think is like the tip of the iceberg. So the song that like everyone and their mom knows, and then like a song that like, maybe most like general fans know, and then like a song that only like true fans will know, and then like a really deep cut song that like if you listen to like their entire discography. So
If you know, you know.
if you know, you know, yeah, for real. So E is gonna kick us off today.
All right. So I chose as my artist Schoolboy Q to try and get away from choosing like a very big artist, since most of us kind of already most big artists don't really have that kind of iceberg since we're invested in them. And it's not to say that this artist isn't big, because they are. My artist is Schoolboy Q. I think, and let me know if this is wrong, or maybe you guys disagree, but I think his biggest song that everyone probably knows is That Part, because it features Kanye. I
I
was
don't know any of these.
I
Alright.
mean, it could be that. It could be Man of the Year or like what's it?
I was thinking
what's that?
Collard
Collard
Greens. It
Greens is
wasn't for
probably
That Part.
or one that you could like argue.
But I chose That Part just because it's probably the most modern one that he's done. That's pretty big. So yeah, this is like the tip. If you want to get into Schoolboy Q, and you kind of just wanna, someone invites you, or I don't know. He doesn't really do that big of a concert, but if you ever wanna just kind of be out there, you just gotta learn That Part.
Hmm.
You just gotta keep saying That Part.
Yeah, I will say as a song, it is very easy to have fun with at a concert or live setting, because you can just be like that part, right? Even if you don't know like any of the other lyrics. Me personally with the song, not a fan of the original that much, because I think Kanye and Q's verses are just too freaking wacky on this song. But it is fun to say that part, and I do really love the remix. I love the remix a lot. I bought the remix. I don't know why I was buying songs back in the day. When I could be moving stealthily. But yeah, no, that's on my iPhone. What you think of that part, Mitch?
I thought it was like kind of mediocre. I felt like both like the beat is like a pretty like average beat. Like I feel like there's nothing really cool going on in the beat. I thought like the ending part was the most interesting. It like kind of switched up at the end, and like the beat sounded really different. The first time when Kanye's verse started, I was like, "Oh Lord, here we go," because he just says "okay" like 8 times, and I was like, "Sir, that's not rapping." But I feel like the rest of his verse was better than like the Schoolboy Q verses in terms of like lyrics and stuff. But we don't stand Kanye, so
I mean, but Mitch, okay, he might be saying okay, but like it's the way he says okay, it just hits
true,
different.
true. The second
It's
time
like
I listened through, I was like, okay.
it's like when
Okay.
it's like when Burna Boy says, yeah, 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 Yeah. Y'all might not know that song, but I only like that song because his yeahs just hit different. He just says yeah, and it's like it works. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
I 100% agree. It. I don't like the Kanye part. I like the beat breakdown that he does at the end, but I don't really like the Kanye part. Um, I thought I chose that part over the other ones because it got the Black Hippie remix, and
mm,
I feel that's kind of what it's one of those like if you want to learn a little bit more about like history or just like rap history, that's probably like one of those songs that you should listen to because it's like their super group kind of did a song together.
yeah. I guess it is like a song which, if you look at it at the surface, I guess you can have like a solid time. But then if you really want to go deep cut and like have some bars that are pretty poignant, especially for when they were released, that remix is that remix part is pretty fire.
I have
Um,
not listened to whatever this remix is.
it's a remix with Kendrick, J Rock, and Absol. Oh, and Schoolboy
Okay.
Q.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may have heard it during the class because this was one of the songs towards the end of the semester where we show off like a lot of multi-syllables. So I
Mhm.
definitely played it. You probably just don't remember it because I mean it was like 4 years ago now, right? You're probably further
Yeah.
now.
I was gonna say, I feel like a
Uh,
lot of his stuff sounded like stuff that we might have played in the class.
Yeah, yeah. But that's like the tip. That's what most people kind
at
of
that
tend
part,
to.
baby.
Yeah, yeah. We're starting at that part, the tip,
The tip
and
is that part.
we move on to the next level. Like once you kind of like Schoolboy Q, these are like the fans that go to the concerts. You should know Num Juice because it's one of the hardest beat drops in his discography.
I still did not like this
Yo,
beat.
I fucking. It's funny when I first heard it. I was like, okay. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm not really feeling it. And then one time I was chilling. No, I was watching a YouTuber and he freaking, I think his name's Azers, and he does like parody videos. He raps as like fucking cartoon characters, and he did Num Juice, but like in the voice of Cleveland Brown. And I was like, yo, this kind of bangs. So then I started to turn it down to the right a little bit more of liking it. And then freaking Christian and me were chilling one time on legal substances now, and 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 like he's just been playing hype music all day, and then the beginning is like an opening like movie intro sound like do 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 do. I was like, oh yeah, finally it's gonna be a chill ass song, and then I hear two-door coupe jumping out like Jack in the Box. I was like, bro, I could not have been more wrong. I was like, this goes hard though.
I knew it was hard the moment I heard it on when it first released. I saw it. Every time a rapper does not put a beat, you know that they got something to say. Like, the rappers who you you know are just kind of getting by are the ones that rely on the beat. When you start the song with nothing but that, and then you drop that like weird like church church bell sound, and you're rapping on like the three. I knew it was hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I was still not a huge fan of this beat. I thought his flow and delivery was more interesting than that part, but also his like lyrics were still not that interesting for me.
But that's what I said. This is concert one. This isn't for like the radio. This is for
Fair.
the concert people. This is for everyone to sing along to.
Mitch, I only got one thing to say to that comment. Not liking Schoolboy Q. That's some Mitch shit. You know, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say to that.
Oh my god.
All right, this is for the people who would say that buy the albums or try to buy the what is it called? The merch.
The
You're
The
merch,
merch?
pre-ordering the vinyl, you're
the
buying the
rhyme.
t-shirt. I think one of his like more deeper cuts, which isn't that deep. I could have gone to like the
Mhm.
earlier albums, but this is the one that spoke to me was I think it's called Ruby Tony slash Eddie Kane, right?
Mhm.
Because it is like a double song. Um and it's such a good song because this album is the same one that part came is in, but the sonic sound kind of the same, but like the feel of this one sounds like way more. I don't know how I would explain, like rough around the edges, like intentionally slash like more of like a scary movie kind of vibe to it,
Oh
and
yeah,
so I chose this one.
yo, this shit sounds grimy, bro. Like you put that on, it's grimy as hell. Like when those first drums come in and like just those like bass wobble notes is like it's so grimy, and the way Schoolboy Q is rapping on it is aggressive as hell. And it's funny. I think I've only ever watched the music video for Groovy Tony because I forgot Eddie Kane even fucking existed. So I was like, oh wait, let me listen to the second part. I was like, yo, this transition is fucking perfect, man. Like in terms of how that beat transitions into the other beat and it gives you another vibe, but the drums on that second beat still go insanely hard. I think Jada Kiss has some words like in between. Like he's that like gruff voiced dude in between like Groovy Tony and Eddie Kane. I don't think he gets like credit on the track list, but I'm pretty sure that's Jada Kiss, which would make sense because like he has a history of talking about just gangster shit and growing up in it in general. Um, but nah, man, Eddie Kane goes. I just want a beat. I want a full beat of that because I can only ever find a Groovy Tony beat. Because Eddie Kane is, in my opinion, very fucking underrated. It's a great song.
I will say, so this is like I like slowly liked the songs more and more as like I listened to like the later ones. So I definitely liked this one more than the other ones. And then like because I feel like the beat had like a lot more interesting stuff going on. And then Eddie Kane came and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this shit. Like this is the best thing I've listened to so far. Also, like the vocals were just like crazy in terms of like how they were like processed and stuff.
Yep, I knew it. I This is one of those songs that are
I knew
like
it.
these are the deep cuts that you got to go through, and this is something similar that I felt with your music, um both of you, where it's like the big commercial ones are like the ones that I understand why people don't really listen to them, but once you get to like these deep cuts, it's like oh damn, these are some good songs. You just don't hear them because they're not necessarily like the radio hits, you know.
Mhm.
Mm,
But the way that the beat switch is, oh, it's so amazing. I was listening to this first year of college. That's when it came out, I believe 2016ish. And damn, when I heard that first beat switch, I was like, this is amazing. This is an amazing album. And it's towards the end, and he's wrapping up the album with this song, right? Oh, you gotta listen to this whole album because it's very grimy, very spooky-ish. All right, let me wrap it up. This is for the people that are just searching for the next thing. This is for the people on the cutting edge of Schoolboy Q technology. Um, I saw this, and I'm glad someone re-uploaded it because it's crazy.
yeah.
Not
This shit's for the people that skip the grade.
Yeah, just some grade A stuff from them. The the first one The first one, it feels a little more funky, it feels cool, but that second one, the beat drop on the second song that comes out in that video is so crazy. It's so amazing. I hope he puts out the music soon because this was like last year. He said he was gonna drop in 2022. Now it's 2023, so he better drop he better drop that second song. That second song is so crazy.
Yeah, explain what this video is for our audience that you're referencing.
Okay, so I went on a I saw that Schoolboy Q was gonna stream, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be streaming like some video games or whatever." That's cool because his label doesn't let him put out music. So, all right. Um, and then he started playing unreleased music that supposedly he said was gonna be on this upcoming album. Um, and the first one was good. And I was like, all right. So he's trying to go back to like the old school, like Cali beat kind of stuff. He's just trying to
Mm-hmm.
modernize it, and it sounds cool. Like I'm not saying it's bad. It's cool. It's cool. I was excited. But then that second one starts coming up, and it reminds me a lot of the blank face sound of like way more aggressive. But the sonics behind it, the beat is like sounds just like a murder scene, you know? And he was playing it, and then he took down the live stream because he said that he didn't want the music to be out there. Um, and I only stayed for like 30 minutes, and someone someone was recording on their phone, and they uploaded it to YouTube. And that's how I was able to find this cut because it's so good. That second song needs to be on the album, or just put it as a single right now. If you feel like they already got tired of hearing it or whatever, just put it as a single. But I need that song.
Yeah, that second song, I'm gonna give y'all the title. We can't say everything, but it's watch. The end URL is watch question mark v equals w77 cb dash zmwhk. Okay, like if you really about that schoolboy shit, you will run what I said back and
Marcus,
append that to the end of your youtube.com URL.
we
Um,
can just put the link in the description.
We could do that too. We could do that too. But like the real ones, the real schoolboy Q people, the people who, like getting extra credit, Mitch. They're gonna they're gonna run that part back. Anyway, yeah, man, I love both of these songs. The first song, I love that like long ass freaking piano intro. I love the piano intros and like outros that he's using on this. They're very like they're super like intense and different and like fluttery in the way they move. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, it did sound like on that first track he was going back to like more new school West Coast, like dirty piano beats, but it sounds like way more layered, like the instrumentation in that. Because normally when I hear like a Blueface or just like a West Coast rapper, it's just like basic, like, or even what's his face, Chet Hanks, right? Like it's just a basic piano, some booms, some kicks, some claps. We're done. Make sure you can like crip walk to the fucking beat. It's a West Coast beat. Um, but the production on that first one is pretty layered as well, so it goes pretty hard. And then that second one, when he had the intro again, and then he went left, 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 ain't no right, left. I was losing my head shaking. I'm like, bro, he just keeps saying left, and I just keep going. Like, when is he gonna drop this? And I don't know. He just builds it up perfectly, and then when that shit drops, it's like, bruh. I didn't know rap could hit the male G spot, bro. Like I didn't know it was possible. But Schoolboy finds a way. So, you know, kudos to him. He better fucking release this. Um, but you never know with TDE. You never know with TDE. What do you think, Mitch?
It was good. I mean, I liked a lot of the stuff in this video too, more than the earlier songs. I also just feel like it was like he was just like hyping it up. So I don't. That could have been part of it. I think he's on this Twitch stream, just like hyping himself up as stuff is playing. Which is like that's gonna be way more fun than listening to some like recorded track.
I
So
mean, hey, he can ad lib it. He can ad lib himself, hyping himself up, like J. Cole did on Applying Pressure.
That is my little iceberg from if anyone says like you listen to Schoolboy Q, you say, "Oh yeah, I like that part." That's all you need to know. All the way down to the unreleased new stuff that potentially might be coming out within the next 5 to 12 years,
Shout out TDE.
Shout out TDE. Um though those I would say are like the four songs to really put you in that Schoolboy Q iceberg.
yeah, so for my artist, since I'm going next, I picked Fallout Boy because they're probably the artist whose discography I know like the back of my hand. Um, probably listen to every song at least once, if not several hundred times. um, But so for the tip of my iceberg, I picked Thanks for the Memories. This is like quintessential mid 2000s single off their, best selling album, Infinity on High. It's a bop. It's got all those like things we loved about the 2000s pop punk emo era. And yeah, I have some reasons why I didn't pick Sugar We're Going Down, which I feel like is like probably their like other rivaling song for like the tip of the iceberg in terms of what people know. I just kind of like Thanks for the Memories better. I feel like everyone is playing Sugar We're Going Down all the time, and I'm like, now it's been like overplayed to me.
It's not a
It's
tip
so
of the
good
iceberg. It's in the air, bro. It's literally a plane, fam. That's how high up it is.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was my tip of the iceberg. So Marcus, what do you think?
Well, I think, I love things for, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna give you an overview about how I feel about Fall Out Boy. I'm not gonna lie. I like their poppier stuff more than Tip of the Iceberg stuff more. But maybe that's just because I'm not a true emo, like a true emo fan like that. Not that I didn't like some of the deeper cuts on the thing, but I will say that like in general, I do tend to like or favor some of their more like their poppier songs, but like yeah, no, I love Thanks for the Memories. It's a great dance song. Like I don't know, like it's funny. I feel like after hearing all of these songs, like Fall Out Boy makes songs for like those kids that go to parties but then stand against the wall the whole time imagining like what they would say to somebody, like, oh man, if they come up to me, and then they go home kind of sad because they realize once again they have not, closed the deal and must go home alone. But it's great to dance to. But it's great to fucking dance to. And
They
I
have
feel like
a whole music video about exactly that. Marcus. It's literally
really
the
just one of
plot.
them. Because I feel like it's like 4 or 5 of them.
No, there is the Dance Dance music video, which is the first music video by them I had ever watched. It's like they're all dressed. They're like the band playing at like some prom or something, but then they're also all dressed as like kids going to the prom that are like total nerds. It's very funny.
That makes sense. That's my favorite song by them. So, yeah, like I
That's my
can't.
favorite song.
I can't hate because I've definitely been one of those kids. So and much shit as I'm talking, like it works. So yeah. But like yeah, no, Thanks for the Memories, great song.
What did you think, Ian?
All right, this is where my opinion starts to be a little different. I think you should have put that song that you were saying that's up in the air because I have never listened to a Fall Out Boy song or like I don't really know what they do. Like now I know, right? Now I know what they but I didn't know what like they were about or anything. So this was my first song. So if the other one is bigger or like I don't know, like maybe I should listen to that one.
I don't think it's bigger. I think they're the same amount of like
Okay.
bigness, and I just favor Thanks for the Memories over Sugar We're Going Down.
Okay. This sounds like a better version of shoot, what's the band of the people who are like, "You make me a believer"? Because it was
Oh,
like
you're not calling them
Oh,
Imagine
Imagine
Dragons,
Dragons?
bro? They're not
this sounds
Imagine
like
No,
Dragons bad. No,
this
no,
sounds
I won't
no.
better.
stand for
This
that. I won't
sounds
stand for that.
no,
Nah,
no, no, no.
nah.
Because when I was listening to this song, I pictured Valorant highlights. I just picture like gameplay of people and not of people of like the commercial. Like companies would use this song to
No, Eduardo, that is
to
like Centuries or
You
Champion,
mm-mm.
which I don't know if I don't know if Marcus knows either of those, but that is like
know.
yeah.
I don't know, but maybe I'm just not into this world, but this sound like Imagine Dragons feels like they're trying to copy this because I heard this one, I'm like, okay, this was cool, but it just sounds like better Imagine Dragons. But I assume Fall Out Boy came first, maybe.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
they've
Okay.
even
been
close.
making music since like 2003.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
We were born in boredom.
because it sounds like I feel like Imagine Dragons has the formula down, and this one sounds like a little better for me because it doesn't sound too formula-ish, you know?
Mhm.
So I prefer this, but it gives me that vibe. You know, these people were walking, and now what's the other band that I forgot the name
Fall Out
again.
Boy walked so Imagine Dragons could run.
So Imagine
They
Dragons
can fly, baby.
can formulate a way to just like public transportation.
Oh my god. I can't. Anyways,
Damn, bro, that's
like the
rough. I wouldn't even. I feel like there's. I feel like there's more. I feel like there's more imagination. This like in this than like anything. Most things Imagine Dragons have done. Apart from that one time they had Radioactive with Kendrick, and I think Imagine Dragons for introducing a lot of people to Jid because he has that one verse on Enemies. So like that's how a lot of people know him. So yeah, I guess shout outs to that. But like they're not close, bro.
It's to me, it sounds like this is they would use this as a commercial for like a video game, but not like a Modern Warfare video
no,
game. This is
no,
like
they wouldn't though.
They might.
I
I
don't
could
know.
see
That's
one.
what it sounds
Like
like to me.
maybe like a Sims party simulator or something like that. Like I don't know. Like it would be like you wanted to get like real funky or dancey with like an Animal Crossing type thing. Maybe I don't know.
This is like one of those like I can't even pinpoint the type of games, but like in
Guitar
this
Hero.
like not too no,
Guitar
it's like
Hero.
it's not too like Modern Warfare. It's like League of Legends, like fantasy ish, catered towards like an older audience, you know?
Mm.
I can't. I mean,
I don't know. That's how I
the
picture
song
it.
for an
I was
older
listening to it. This is what came up in my head. I was picturing
Mm.
Valorant highlights, and I don't play Valorant, so that's how I knew this.
Okay, I guess I cannot hate. Um, so
I
the
can,
next,
but
I know I've had some opinions that you and Eduardo can definitely hate on me for, so I'm choosing this moment to be peaceful.
Choose peace today.
Yeah. So the next one I have, I guess just under the surface of the water, is The Last of the Real Ones, which is from their technically newest full-length album because they're coming out with a new album in March. But this song they released as a single on Mania, and just like the lyrics of this, like, oh, chef's kiss. Like I don't know what it is about it, but
oh, I know what it is.
it's like a love song, but like also like it's got that it's not like a grungy vibe, but like I don't know, it's like not some guy like playing his acoustic guitar.
Mhm.
But this one I feel like everyone knows like stuff off of From Under the Cork Tree and Infinity on High, and then like if you were a real one or if you were just like young, then you have like listened to their albums post hiatus, which this one is. So
Mm. Yeah, for this one, it's funny. Like, I feel like this is like the blend. This is the blend between like their older, rawer stuff and like their newer, poppier things. I feel like it perfectly sits in the middle of them trying to go to pop and then like still trying to maintain some semblance of like the sound they originally came out with. I will say on this, I really liked a lot of his like rhythmic phrasing. Like, it's very irregular in certain places and I think that helps like build a lot of tension in certain places, and that's really cool. I'll also say I feel like the first thoughts I had when listening to this, I was like, wow, Pete Wentz has like a lot of friends who are girls because he's like, yo, I know I'm so dope that you're gonna go and tell your therapist about like the ways I'm making you feel. I know your therapist knows all about me, bro. But you know, it's cool because you the last of the real ones, like you know. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've definitely had girls who are friends be like, yeah, I talked all about him because of all the shit he was calling me in therapy. So I'm like, damn, Pete, you really out here taking notes. That's why you're so specific with this shit. But yeah, it's an interesting song. I feel like I'm not sure quite how I feel because initially I was like, I'm not feeling this, but then as the song progressed, I was like, okay, this is getting like kind of better. So I feel like if I heard it more times, like I would be, I'd have a stronger view on like how I felt. But like, yeah, it's a solid song.
I felt very similar to Marcus in this one. Um, didn't really like the instrumental part. I liked like singing, the voice part, the vocals. I thought like the lyrics were like a little, I don't know, like toxic-y, you know.
I feel like that's the vibe on this one.
Yeah,
I feel like,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah. I prefer the tip. I'll stay at the tip between these two. Um,
yeah, the
but it
shafting,
was good.
shafting it, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like this is not a toxic song, but
It's not that toxic because he is complimenting her as well. Like he does talk positive about her as well. But I feel like the effect he wants them to have is like obsessive. Like the end effect of their relationship is obsessive from both ends.
okay, I will say I do want to do a future episode, possibly when the new album comes out in March, about how I feel about their like entire discography. And I am of the opinion that all of the albums before Fall You Do, which was their like album right before they took a hiatus, are like songs about like hating your ex. And then everything after that is more like songs that are like more positively looking at love. And so that is how I feel about it.
That could be a vibe. Also, as a side note from Thanks for the Memory, sorry. I noticed, my boy Pete lost a lot of weight. Good on him. Anyway,
Oh no,
side
that's
note.
Patrick. That's
Oh,
Patrick.
god damn it. I was like, is it Patrick Stump? I originally said Patrick Stump, and then I saw the credits and it was like Pete Wentz. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I guess it's Pete.
Pete writes the lyrics and then Patrick
Okay.
writes the music.
Yo, fuck me, bro. Fuck me, bro.
You were so close. So close, Marcus.
Yeah, good on him, I guess.
Yeah, he did lose a lot of weight. Good on him. But yeah, so I just think that one is like a banger. And so the next one that I have is off of From Under the Cork Tree. It's called 7 Minutes in Heaven. And this song, I feel like I feel like because the last two were kind of like released in the vein of like being singles, so like things that like people were supposed to listen to. I don't know if they made Thanks to the Memories for the radio, but it was definitely played there. And I feel like the last three ones, yeah, it was like definitely released to be heard by the masses. And so I wanted to pick a song off of From Under the Cork Tree. I don't know why I picked this one. I just did. I like it. This is also what they literally said what Marcus was saying before, where they're like, I'm sitting out dances on the wall trying to forget everything that isn't you. I also just like the ta-das in this song.
Oh, okay. Are the Dadas like at like the later half of the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, nice sample at like 209. Like I'm definitely definitely taking that part. Definitely adding that to the playlist because it could go hard in the right context. Yeah. I guess that was my first thought because I think I've listened to Fall Out Boy ever passively. Like when I hear a song, I'm like, oh okay, no, this is fire. Who is this? But like I haven't dived deep. But like after taking more time to actually analyze their lyrics, I'm like, dang, every song is him opining about or so many of the songs are opining about like not going home alone or like how this girl did him dirty like that. I was like, yo, he's just the emo Taylor Swift fam, like emo Adele, basically, just not.
Oh yeah.
Like but yeah, no. I mean, what did I think of 7 minutes? I think it is closer, and that's the thing with Fall Out Boy for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think I do. I like their stuff that is not quite like I would say somewhere in between tip and like I guess base or shaft or whatever we're calling the middle part of this iceberg. Somewhere in between the midsection,
The midsection.
Like I like when their stuff is like poppier, but you still get the essence of it. It doesn't sound like it's been like totally corporate-y, like, oh, we're making this full pop. It's like some pop rock anthem, like
Yeah.
that's and I feel like their older work did that better, although I still do enjoy newer stuff from them sometimes. But yeah, this one I was like it was all right. Like I wasn't feeling it too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the other way around. This one was by spoiler alert, I like the last one the most, but this one
Ooh,
was
I can't wait to
was
talk
better
about the last one.
Ooh,
because
okay.
This one felt for me. I just don't really like the like super polished sound when it comes to like this. I don't know what genre they're necessarily in. It sounds kind of like punky slash like My Chemical Romancey area.
Mhm.
And I feel like unless you're doing like more anthemic stuff like Black Parade, like if you're not doing those anthem songs, the polish doesn't really. I don't really like it. I like that if like this one doesn't feel as like doesn't give the same vibe of like this is like a commercial hit. It sounded more like exactly where it should be. It's a deeper cut. It's not meant for everyone, but that's what made me like it a lot more. Is that the sound itself didn't feel like they were trying to make it like a super pop song. It sounded like they were just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And so I like this one better. I don't know if Marcus got it backwards or something, but this one just sounds better to me.
I think people just have different opinions on things, man.
Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like their most like pop punk sounding album is Take This to Your Grave, which I didn't take any of
Your
these
grave?
songs.
Your grave? None of them will be played at your funeral.
No, Take This to Your Grave. But that one is definitely like the most pop punky, and then I feel like they slowly with each album got like more and more poppy. They've actually released 2 singles off their newest album that have like a lot more guitars. Marcus, I'm gonna send you one of them because I feel like you might like more samples off of that one.
I love me some samples, baby. You know.
Yeah. And then the last song that I sent as like the deepest cut is My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, but like the demo version from like the early 2000s. So not the one that was released on Save Rock and Roll or whatever. That one, I like when they announced that was coming out as a single, I was like, holy shit, they remade this song from like early 2000 that like you can only listen to on YouTube. And I was so hyped. And then they released the single for that new album, and it was not that. And I was immensely disappointed. So I'll probably also throw the link to this in the description. But I like discovered this song at some point after, years and years of listening to them. And it sounds very rough. Like this is not a polished song. It sounds like they recorded it in somebody's basement. I do not care. This also has more of those like kind of like emo pining vibes that Marcus has been talking about. But also I just love like I feel like the vibe of this song and then the way that Patrick is singing the words, like My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, like it's more of like a like threat or I feel like or like more of a like understanding that some shit went down than in like the single that they released. If that makes sense.
It does make sense because you know why? At the end when he's saying my songs know what you did in the dark, like that part when he's doing that at the end, I'm like, sample right here, baby. I'm gonna use this for some menacing shit, bro. I'm gonna change this key and use it for some menacing shit, sample files. But yeah, I like I do like the guitar, especially the rhythm on the guitar and like the texture of the lead guitar on this way more than I guess the released version. I like that. I do, however, like the singing less, and I think for me the song sits in a weird place because I'm not sure whether it's simply because it is recorded so poorly, right?
Yeah.
That like
very
it's singing and it has not been mixed, so it's like I'm hearing a very rough version of like if it had just been done better, I'd probably like it more, right? Or if it's like that, like even like the final version of it, like would probably not, because I do, unfortunately, your boy at the time when he was in high school, like the sellout fake version, Mitch. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Okay. But I can definitely see how someone who's like an actual fan of Fall Out Boy would vastly prefer his version. Like not even close. I get it. Because there are a lot of interesting elements here, and it sounds way more true to their their original sound. But
Yeah.
thanks for the samples, Mitch, is what I would like to say.
Not
Is,
thanks for the memory,
thanks for the
but thanks
samples,
to the
Mitch. For this Fallout Iceberg.
Yeah. It's also not to say like I don't hate Save Rock and Roll. Like that album means a lot to me. It's a summer album in my head, and it like definitely got me through one summer in high school. But I want the polished version of this song. Give it to me. Give it to me, Fall Out Boy.
Well, now we have to get big just so we can have them do it first live, guys.
A
That's our goal.
3-person show.
That's the goal. To make that's what we gotta do.
Yeah. What did you think, E?
I thought this was my favorite one. I do also think kind of the same thing as you. You can tell that this is like not done, and maybe that's kind of what appealed it to me. And so I want to hear like the final one, because now I know like what their demo sounds like. I know what unpolished sounds like,
Mhm.
and I want to see how they polish it to either get rid of like the elements that I like, which is like the like grungier sound, or if when they polish it, all they try to do is like mess with levels and this and that, or like I want to know what the difference is between this unpolished material and then what the end result is. Because if you can kind of see what they're going for, then that's kind of what happens with other songs,
Yeah.
And so I like this one because it showed me like how they also record, because it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
There's
I
some
mean,
rough notes in there, fam.
Yeah.
for sure. They have a album that was released before Take This to Your Grave called Evening Out with Your Girlfriend, which also like the recording on that is like a little rough. I would say even like the Take This to Your Grave, it was like released properly, so like they mixed it and stuff, but definitely I feel like From Under the Cork Trees where it started to sound more polished. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions.
Eduardo, do you think you liked it more because I feel like punk, when done correctly, should feel grungier, or it should feel like it shouldn't feel that polished. Like the polish should only normally be things that like make certain things clearer, right? But it shouldn't feel like it's like shiny, if you get what I'm saying. Like when
It
it's
should
done
be
correctly.
smooth.
Yeah. It shouldn't feel like wow. They really applied the Adobe Photoshop here. It should be like, nah, bruh, I'm coming out no filters, fam, no filters. Like I feel like when punk is done correctly, that's kind of the vibe it's supposed to evoke.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it should still keep that like raw sound to it, but it's still got to be mixed. Like there's some parts you can really tell someone
Yeah.
was spitting through a can. Like you don't got to go that far.
The camera
But
still, they didn't clean the camera before they took the picture. We get no filters is fine, but like, maybe,
yeah, but
maybe
yeah,
take off the
clean yourself too.
they wash their face with dirt before getting some
Yeah.
headshot.
Yeah, it's like, all right, clean it up a little, but like, but keep the element. I think I think that's what I liked about it, is that it really feels like that like amateur garage sound, but now just clean it up just a bit.
Yeah. Well, that is my artist Iceberg. So Marcus,
Yes. Now
pass off the baton.
for my artist Iceberg, because I didn't want to choose Jid for the 50 millionth time in a row. All right. I wanted to go with, the boy. I feel like I definitely get a lot of inspiration from him in terms of my both rapping style, or like if there was an enlightened version of what I would do, like the Nirvana version of Marcus as a rapper, it'd probably be Killer Mike in terms of just flows, beat selections, and topics covered. He is pretty dang nice with it. Now, I will admit, when it came to doing this goddamn Iceberg, I kind of messed up because like the stuff at like the tip is like it's big plays, and like you might know about it because especially if you're like political speakers, because some of those songs got reshared there a lot. But like it's not like their biggest song. Their biggest song is obviously oh fuck me, I'm blanking right now.
The one with 2 Chainz?
No, it's the RTJ. It's on the Black Panther soundtrack. Legend Has It. Fucking Legend Has It, because it was on the Black Panther soundtrack, is like objectively their biggest song. Like it's not even like close. It's like fucking like 40 or 50 million views. And I mean, I guess to an extent, it is what they do, right? Like the lyrics are more playful. You could have also chosen a song like Ooh La La, off the newer song. But you know, I wanted to give you like a song that was big, but instilled kind of like distilled how, like kind of like the essence of Mike as a rapper. So that's why I chose Reagan. Also, people don't know a lot about Reagan, and you know, it's good to learn. What y'all think, guys?
I think this is a good song. They definitely have bigger songs, but that's also like, is that Killer Mike or is that Run the Jewels? You know?
Okay, fair.
So I'm glad you chose this one. I like this song a lot. The beat is what makes this song for me. Like he's talked about all the political stuff, and you know, I know that a lot of the times like political rap gets a little cheesy.
Yeah.
But the fact that the beat is so dirty, just like you don't even think about that. You're like, oh damn, this guy is spitting militant, anti-imperial messaging here. You know, like you can tell it feels like they're trying to wake you up. You know, they're forcing you to take the red or the blue pill, whichever one's the one that wakes you up.
I would say he's a version of neither pill according to the song, but
I know, but you know what I mean. You know,
know.
he's trying to show you like the truth. But with the beat, it just like you don't even think about like trying to make this one sound political. You're like, dude, this song just goes hard. And shit he's talking about is crazy.
Yeah, I definitely liked the beat. I thought his flow was really good. Like the lyrics are super pointed. These lyrics were like more interesting than a lot of the Schoolboy Q ones.
Come on, like it's Killer Mike versus Groovy Q, man. You don't use Q. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison.
But yeah, I also feel like the like political speech sampling is like really well done. I also feel like that's like it adds a lot of interest to a song. Where I feel like like there's not a lot of like other songs that are doing that. Dope song. We don't stand in.
I think part of the reason you like that beat so much, and you're like, oh, this is Killer Mike. Well, I mean, is this off of his rap album? A lot of this is off his a lot of these songs are off his rap music project, which is basically like Run the Jewels and a half, because like LP produced basically this entire project. He's just not rapping on it for most of it. So it's like basically a Run the Jewels without. It's as close to a Run the Jewels project you can get before Run the Jewels was a thing. Which is why these beats go stupidly hard. You know. But anyway, on from the tip, we move down lower to the shaft of our iceberg. And next song I chose was Lie, Cheat, and Steal. I think this is like one of the first songs. Like I think the first album that really got me into Run the Jewels was Run the Jewels 2. And hearing songs like Lie, Cheat, Steal, I think just Run the Jewels and oh fuck, I can't believe I'm blanking on the one where he fights a cop in black and white, but that one goes dumb hard as well. That song. But yeah, Lie, Cheat, and Steal. I feel like the beat is just constantly changing. It's like aggressive video game sounding, but I feel like they're both flowing their minds off and making some poignant bars about you know, like, yo, why the fuck is Donald Sterling a goddamn like, you know, multi-billionaire scared of getting canceled? You know, like asking some questions. So I feel, you know, I feel like this is a good starter. So, like it's a song where if you're like a fan of Run the Jewels, you'll probably know it. Like it didn't get too far outside of those spheres, and I think it's palatable enough just from beat alone to be like something that a lot of people can vibe to.
Yeah. I feel like the beat on this one is like also really solid. I didn't love the chorus in this. I don't know what it was. Like I feel like the chorus is like the most bland part
Damn,
of
she
this
said it had no
song.
seasoning. She said it
No,
had no
it had no
seasoning.
seasoning. They just put some salt and
They
pepper.
put some mayo on that shit and called it
Oh,
chipotle. They called it chipotle, bro. Chipotle
I,
aioli. That's what they called their
oh
mayo.
my god, I hate mayonnaise. But anyways, I feel like the like everything else like vocally and lyrically about the song was like really good, and then you get to the chorus and you're just like, okay, yeah, like I guess that's the name of the song, so they had to do it. This one also sounds more like old school rappy to me.
I have similar opinions with Mitch. It's cool. It does sound a little outdated in terms of like the sound. Like I feel like with their with the Run the Jewels experiment, like each one has learned how to make like these hard hitting beats sound like way more professional, and this was like one of the first attempts, you know? I think the beat was fighting the lyrics a little too much. Like it felt like I was paying more attention to the beat than the vocals, which isn't bad, but it definitely feels kind of like you said, we're going down the rabbit hole with them. They're still going political, but it still sounds kind of dirty, you know. It's still good. I just feel like in this one, like LP won Killer Mike in terms of like showing off his talent. I think that LP really shines in the production.
I've definitely heard of Run the Jewels before, but I had
Mhm.
never heard of Killer Mike before, I feel like.
I feel like it's normally the opposite because Killer Mike he's very public in terms of like political campaigns, just being on like Saturday Night Live. He's like a very public figure in like a lot of different
Mhm.
domains. So a lot of people like they've been on like Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. They've had like a ton of stuff like in a ton of different places. So it's more I go back and forth, but I feel like if you don't know their music, you're way more likely to know of Killer Mike, especially because he's been featured on some massive Outkast records as well. But if you're like really into like current hip hop, then yeah, you might know Run the Jewels' songs more than like Killer Mike as a solo artist.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
All right, alrighty. Anyway, let's move down from the shaft, right, to the of
Stop,
our.
please. I'm gonna like start
Bro, you
bleeping all.
gotta
Okay, fine,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
Keep it
We're gonna
clean.
have to
Okay,
Keep it
start
clean.
bleeping again.
okay. We're moving down to the the lower level of our of our iceberg. Not not the mid low, but the low, not the lowest, but like like the low. Um, and for this one, I had originally chose Kryptonite, but I do feel like it's a bit too outdated, and I do feel like the production, while it is a vibe, it is very throwback, old school. So instead, I chose to go with like Big Beast. And this is a track that features LP. Is LP on this? No, actually, LP is not on this. Bum B. It's like a ton of Atlanta rappers, basically all of the OG Atlanta rappers, from Bum B to Ti to Killer Mike. LP's production on it in terms of like how those trap hi-hats freaking hit, especially for the time, I think go pretty hard. Although I'm not gonna lie, while this is a Killer Mike song, my favorite verse to listen to is Ti's verse on this song, because how Homeboy rides this beat is pretty clean, it's pretty solid, it's pretty smooth, and he's going in lyrically at the same time and painting pictures. So is a pretty nice song for certain parts. Although I can definitely see how if that old school trap song isn't your vibe, like if those old like old school trappier sounds aren't your vibe, then you might not necessarily be like a fan of this song. So that's why I put it at like the low level. But it sounds like a bunch of artists that like people would know.
Yeah, for me, this um I'm glad you had this song on because I thought it was really good. I think this was my favorite song from the ones that you chose. I think the beat is super hard. Like it gives me like XXX Tentacion levels of like hard in terms of like the bass and the and the hi-hats that he did when he was like in his younger days, you know?
Mhm.
So I think not younger, in his earlier work. I think that the production was crazy good. I agree with you that TI verse is so good. I feel like he sent it to him first because he had like more time with it or something because it just sounded like really good.
Yeah, I did not have enough time to digest this as I would have liked, mostly because I was setting up my mic and stuff while you were listening to it. But this song, it reminds me of like a couple of things. So like it reminds me of like just like a song that like rappers release on their album where it's like more of like a cipher like style song, right? Where it's like everybody has a verse, and they just sort of pass it and that sort of thing. It also like I feel like this is a song I can imagine hearing in like a club. Or like I feel like if like this got played in a club and people knew the words to the song, like this would go hard.
No.
No?
No, I was gonna say yeah. No,
Oh,
I thought you had to say no, no, it wouldn't go on in the club. I don't fucking clubs you go. No, yeah, no, it would. I mean, a lot of Atlanta music is because a lot of the scene about getting popping in Atlanta is making music that will appeal in the club. That plays like a very big part in like shaping the sounds and productions they go for. But yeah, no, like it would go hard in the club. I'm trying to think. I had someone else wants to say. Uh, okay. Um. Yeah. No, I mean, uh, really blanking. I'm really blanking.
you're blanking a
Uh,
lot tonight.
oh yeah, I'm a blank space baby. It's probably because we listen to Blank Face. Schoolboy.
Blank space.
Blank space, blank space. But yeah, no, I don't know what to. I don't know what to say. It's a nice song. Yeah, Ti fucking. Oh, I know now. I remember what I wanted to say. I think yeah, this song it does have that cipher feel, but at the same time, I feel like the whole message is like all of them painting their own different perspectives of like what it is like to live in fucking Atlanta. It was like Ti talks about like riding down his motherfucking hood, seeing like choppers going off like it's freaking Iraq on a constant basis. Right, like they are all like they are very clearly saying, "Yo, Atlanta might not be the chillest place to stay,
Yeah.
long term, or at least where we currently are. But you can also shake your ass to it, so like good vibes. Yeah, and then for the final song, the lowest of the low, the flow, I went with my go-to song, Southern Fried. In terms of like depth of lyrics, I'm not gonna lie, the depth of lyrics on this one, like he does have some bars in here for sure. But like I just love the flows on this fam. All of the flow, the pockets he's hitting are like fucking hard to hit. Damn, goddamn, and he's doing them so cleanly a lot of the time too. Like his flow on this is like is nasty. And I just love this like distorted, dirty guitar sample that like LP is sprinkling everywhere. I love the fucking sprinkler hi-hat pattern that he has going on in there. And that sprinkler hi-hat pattern gets me because it's still constantly changing. Yeah, I love the vibe. This is like on repeat. This is on repeat all the time. It should have been in my top streaming songs of the year. Just because of that, because I've been playing this for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like the beat on this one, but we know that I hate like boom bap beats and
The boom bap beat.
well, no, that's what I'm saying. This is not a boom
Okay,
bap
okay.
beat. That's
Wait,
why I
wait, wait,
like
wait,
it.
wait, 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 wait.
Because I'm not a fan of boom bap, and this is very much not that. I feel like it like the like kind of grungy guitar sample, as you were saying, gives it. Oh God, now I'm blank spaces. um, it
I just need Taylor Swift saying that. Blank space.
it gives it more of that like kind of like grungy, grittier vibe. Um, which we've also talked about Midwest emo. So just like liking stuff like that, or like I guess like liking like guitars and maybe like non-traditional sounding instruments in like rap, non-traditional like quotes, right? I feel like there's like a lot of rap beats that probably have guitars or like brass and stuff like that.
Ooh,
But
I
always
feel
a
like
fan
that's
of that.
a launching off point for what is non-traditional. Because like I would say like the traditional shit in rap is guitar, violin, and like piano, right? Like, and it was for like the basis of like everything. So then the non-traditional stuff is like when you start like doing shit like granular synthesis, or like you start just doing like synthesizers and
I hate
weird fucking
stuff that's like
shit.
all
I love
synthesizers,
the weird.
or like I don't hate stuff that's all synthesizers, but I feel like that's like all like I feel like I hear so many like rap songs where it's just like trap beat after trap beat after trap beat after trap beat, and it's like all like
Basically,
synth
I
sounds.
think it depends how you do your synths. Like, I just think people often go for like
Hmm.
the ding ding, like they just go for basic like bells or shit like that, right? And like there's you can get really crazy with some of the sounds you can do, and I think when you do, you get like artists like Smino, like you might get some JPEG Mafia type stuff. Like you just get way more interesting sounds.
Hmm.
But that's a different day for like non-traditional
Yeah.
versus traditional instruments in rap. Write that down, Mitch. You know, this new add that quick, Jamie, pull that up. Add that to the chat. You know,
Yeah, but I feel like as always, like his delivery is strong on this too, as it has been on all the other songs you listed out. So yeah. What about you, E?
I thought this one was cool. The video that you put um had like 4 minutes of
yeah,
silence.
that does happen. I forgot about that.
So I was
What?
like
I
waiting for
forgot
like
about the
a
4 minutes of
monologue or something.
silence. Yeah, it's not even. It's just 4 minutes of silence. I don't know anything
Yeah,
else.
I thought it was gonna be like the end of an album, and you know how sometimes they put like a skit at the
Yes,
end,
skip around. Please tell me you
and
skip
then
around.
it ends with like a yeah. So it was like fading, like the end of the song faded, and I'm like, all right. And I just listened for like a whole minute. I'm like, "Oh, wait, why is it? And so then I had to check my headphones, and I'm like, oh crap, I think my headphones ran out of battery. So I took them off, I charged them, and then I listened to the song. And I'm like, why is the sound not working? And then I went to a different YouTube video and it's playing, and I'm like, all right, let me go on YouTube Music, and it's only 4 minutes. I'm
I'm
like, what the
sorry.
hell? We're just gonna
I'm
put a
sorry. I
give us the
forgot.
extended version.
It's
Oh
not
my
even
god.
extended. It's just blank space for no reason.
I mean, I feel like okay,
Blank
two
space.
things. One, I love the idea of Eduardo just like not doing anything else on his computer, just like sitting with the YouTube video open for 4 minutes in silence. Two,
So like, hold on.
I think sometimes when people like post stuff to YouTube, they like try and change something, right? Like
Oh, word. To get not copyright banned, right? Yeah.
yeah, so that could be it. But
That's probably it, but that's still fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, the song's good. I think the beat for Beast was better. Big Beast was better than this one, but this is like a very deep cut. I don't this one sounds like to me like one of those songs that like you hear about them in like a documentary, like this was their first song ever, because this sounds like one of those like first song ever kind of kind of beats.
Mhm.
It's how they're like, I don't want to say unpolished, but it just sounded so underground that it fit the vibe. I'm like, all right, this is like the song that only like the really niche super fans are listening to, and I'm like, oh, dude, this sounds like this. If you were to tell me this was the first song he ever like released or whatever, I would believe you because it just sounds so underground and so like a regional. It doesn't sound like he's trying to appeal to anybody. It just sounds like he's trying to do him from like the beats that are in his area. You know, like he doesn't have that reach yet. That it sounds very like rap inspired, like southern um rap. You know.
I feel you. I mean, and uh, that first shit, that underground shit. I'm a fan of that because I grew up in the basement when it comes to rap. So I feel
Okay.
that. I feel that.
Yeah. Well, those are our artist icebergs. Let us know if you thought we got anything wrong about our icebergs or if we definitely hit the nail on the head. I guess Marcus E, anything you want to shout out?
Yo, follow me at Plenty Marcus at Instagram. I'm on TikTok as Plenty Marcus. I sometimes post music freestyles and have a the baby freestyle. Currently,
That freestyle
yeah,
goes
it's pretty
crazy.
nice. I don't think people cut the bars, or people think I'm like lip syncing something, but like nah, like bitch, I'm running the game when I'm dropping a swerve. I might fuck all your bitch and teach her a few things, just no I grade her ass on the curve. Like you telling me the baby wouldn't say some shit like that? Like that's funny, but but yeah, that's all I got for now. What about you, Eduardo?
Nah, you don't gotta catch me anywhere. I'm cool with where I am right now.
You can catch me here.
I mean, because I'm just going to school for a while, so I don't got anything to shout out for the foreseeable future. But give it like 4 or 5 months from now, then I'll start promoting again. You know. But for now, just follow along, subscribe, and everything.
You're that
Yeah.
hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.